Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business on this 4th of July holiday weekend. I'm Gary Dick. This is an ideal time, we think, to reflect on the value of tourism in Indiana, which is the state slogan promoting the Hoosier State as a place to visit, work, and live. From the shores of Lake Michigan to the banks of the Ohio River, tourism in Indiana has grown into big business, generating an estimated $3 billion in federal, state, and local taxes, that according to a 2023 Rockport Analytics study. And people are dropping dimes when they visit, spending up 7% since the pandemic. Another interesting number, the state's spring tourism campaign, it generated $176.5 million in paid media impressions. For a deeper dive now into the growing impact of tourism in Indiana, pleased to be joined by Indiana Destination Development Corporation Interim CEO Amy Howell. Amy, as always, great to see you.
Great to see you.
Let's start with the overview. In your view, the state of tourism, big impact on the economy. What is the state of tourism in Indiana?
Well, it's always about the economy, but we're shifting gears a little bit under the commerce vertical. And so that means, we're looking at upskilling our workers. We're looking at supporting our existing businesses and fueling main streets and regionalization. So we already promote regionally, but all of these other things, we look at it as tourism is the welcome mat for people to come to the state. So if it starts with a visit, then people might want to live here or work here or start a business here.
So really looking at tourism as a piece of economic development.
Absolutely,
really. Yeah.
Absolutely.
As you look at some of the new attractions, there are attractions, of course, all over the state, but some of the new ones, the IMS Museum, which is amazing here in Indianapolis, the Dunes National Park, which is now, I guess, a couple of years old. Talk about some of the new attractions.
Some of the new attractions, you mentioned IMS. I was just there in May, and the interactive experience is phenomenal. Just the hands-on, great for all ages. Dunes National Park and the state park, all of that shoreline up north. Everybody wants to be at the beach, and we're less crowded than Chicago. So let's welcome those Chicagoans to come see what Indiana has to offer.
As you look, I know in the past there's been a focus on agritourism and tourism, some of the rural areas around the state. Is that still part of a focus?
Absolutely, because that's where our main streets are, and we need to help those business gain attractions like Huber Winery in southern Indiana, the orchard, the winery, the vineyard, now the Starlight Distillery. I mean, what a phenomenal place for families, for couples, for events, etc., in a rural area.
As you look at a competitive standpoint, Indiana has not been funded typically to the level of neighboring states. I talked to Amy Vaughn, who previously led tourism efforts in the state. She's at IU Indy now. About that.
We've always been outspent by our neighboring states, Kentucky, Michigan, Illinois. That's always been a challenge. I think we have always punched above our weight in terms of collaboration and partnerships among the tourism industry. So I think the more ways that we can continue to collaborate, like that, I think is a point of differentiation for us.
How about that funding challenge, if you will? Collaboration, is that key?
Collaboration is key. We recently welcomed tour operators and media from Dublin for the Aer Lingus flight, collaborated with Visit Indy on that. And we collaborate with partners all across our state. And that includes economic developments, chambers, you name it. We just want the word out of how great Indiana is. And that's really what the key is. It's the people, it's our Hoosier hospitality. That's how we differentiate ourselves. And that's the possibilities that Amy Vaughn was talking about.
Yeah, and as you look, as we wrap up at opportunities going forward, is it under that kind of that economic development umbrella?
Absolutely. And so visitor attraction is talent attraction. As I said, we open the door, we show people the possibilities of Indiana, so they want to live here, they want to move here, they want to work here, start a business here. So it's all about opportunity and possibilities.
Amy Howell, the Indiana Destination Development Corporation, the Interim CEO. Amy, always great to see you. Have a great 4th.
Thank you, you too.
All right.